Hey guys, how's it going? MegaLugia here, bringing you a video on the new types I hope to see in Pokemon Sun and Moon. With a new generation on the horizon, everyone has features that they want to see implemented, and a brand new typing is something that always excites us. The Fairy typing brought a whole new aspect to the game in 6th gen, and the competitive scene was drastically changed, so here's hoping that we get another kick-ass typing in Gen 7. Of course, there's endless new typings, so by all means, if you have your own, go ahead and comment down below, that way we can all discuss them. And while you're at it, if you do enjoy what you're watching, go ahead and drop a like, that would be dope, and subscribe for more Pokemans. Now having said all that, let's get into the discussion. So this first type is going to be the Cosmic type. The Cosmic type I feel would represent Pokemon from another world, or that came from space, basically an alien type. I don't think it would be completely out of the question since the new games are called Pokemon Sun and Moon. The Sun and Moon being in space, aka the cosmos. See how it works. Anyway, they could add a whole new bunch of mons or give existing mons a cosmic typing. The Clefairy line, for example, could see a cosmic fairy typing because of their relation to meteors and their method of evolving through a moonstone. Next would be obvious candidates Solrock and Lunatone, who need some much deserved love, especially because Pokemon basically named the game after them, so it would be cruel to see them have no improvement at all. Pokemon like Behemoth are screaming out for a cosmic typing, and I feel Psychic doesn't do it justice, and its design just looks like something out of this world. You could say the same for Sigilyph, and interestingly enough, Starmie's Y Pokedex entry mentions it sending weird signals into space from its center, so that could be a thing. Also, legendaries like Jirachi and Deoxys would be good candidates, especially with Deoxys actually being from space. And of course, with new types comes new type effectiveness, so let's break that down. So Cosmics would be super effective against normal and fighting, because normal and fighting represent the human side and aliens are usually seen as superior to them. Cosmics would be weak against fire and poison, because they could be considered new elements unique to Earth that they don't have on their own world, so they don't know how to deal with them. Similarly, they would be resisted by fire and poison, and also by ghosts, because ghosts could be considered unique to this world as well, and untouchable by aliens, and Cosmics would be resistant to normal and fighting types. So the next new typing would be the Sound typing. Sound is an interesting typing because there aren't many Pokemon who this would apply to, but the ones that they do apply to fit the type very well. Seeing a Sound typing would be something that would change the competitive landscape a lot, and although there isn't much proof of it being introduced in the new game, it is a personal hope of mine. So kicking it off, there is no better option to go than the Exploud line. Exploud is known as the loud noise Pokemon, and the Pokedex states that it can trigger earthquakes with its roar. Everything about this Pokemon screams sound typing, super lame pun intended. So I really hope this happens. Other notable Pokemon that include sound typing could be the Noivern line and Chatot. Chatot is the music note Pokemon, and Noivern is the sound wave Pokemon, and both are known for using the move Boom Burst. That move could in turn become sound typing and give these Pokemon a damage boost because of Stab. So the type effectiveness of this chart would look a little something like this. Sound would be super effective against Steel, Water, and Ground. Steel because it can shatter molecules when strong enough, Water because sound waves penetrate through them, and Ground because of Exploud's Pokedex entry that explains earthquakes that can happen because of its roar. Sound types would be weak against sound types themselves because when sound waves go against each other, they create destructive interference, and because, yeah, science. And they would also be weak against electric types because honestly it just fits and it just sounds right to me in my head. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments below. So moving on, they would be resisted by electric and flying because sound travels slower comparatively through air, and grass because the dense vegetation can stop it. And sound themselves would resist steel and ground types. The final typing that I want to talk about is the light typing. So obviously we have a dark typing right now, and I've always felt we've needed a direct counterpart to dark, aka light. Now we do have the fairy typing, which is strong against dark, but I see it more of an embodiment of light, right? Like pixies and stuff. But what I'm talking about is an actual light typing, like radiant light that is emitted from the sun. Makes sense? I hope so. Anyway, I think it would have some really interesting factors to consider. Now, whether or not they add light typing to existing Pokemon, or they give us a few brand new Pokemon, I would be happy with both. Now, a great way to introduce a light typing would be through a new evolution. Evolutions are always fan favorites, so GameFreak make us fans happy. Sylveon was a great addition to X and Y, so why not kick off Sun and Moon with the same idea? A potential name for the evolution could be Ruinion, for the design that you see right here, and of course all the credit to the amazing art is in the description, by the way. Besides an evolution, a potential luminous fish could be on the horizon, maybe with this design that you see right here. Maybe it's used to light up caves, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Or even cooler, could be the new light legendary that we would get in the game. I really like the design that we see right here, and part of me sees the winged dragon of Ra in it as well. Is that just me? As for the type effectiveness, light would be super effective against dark and ghost. Dark because it's obviously meant to cancel out the dark, and ghost because ghosts tend to lurk in the shadows and the light works to eliminate that. However, light would also be weak against dark. This would be a cool mechanic similar to the weaknesses of ghost and dragon, where they're weak against themselves, where although light is super effective against dark, dark also works against the light. It's not something we've seen before, so what are your thoughts on it, guys? Let me know. Grass would also be strong against light because plants absorb light just like they do in photosynthesis. Light would be resisted by steel, grass, and dragon. Grass because of the reason I mentioned before, they absorb light. Dragon because they resist the 4 elements, grass, water, fire, and electric, so light could also fit into that category as well. And steel because steel resists everything, am I right? And light would only be able to resist light, so that obviously means it's also not very effective against itself. It would also be really interesting to see if light became immune to ghosts. So the way that would work is because ghosts, like I said, tend to lurk in the shadows, and the only way for the ghost Pokemon to get to the light would be to come out of the shadows, and they wouldn't want to do that. So I think it would have some interesting lore behind it as well, and it would be a real advantage to light types. And those are my thoughts on the new types I want to see in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Of course, I couldn't go through the limitless, endless numbers of types that we could see in the new game. So if you have your own, please go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. I actually really want to see them and see what new types you guys are thinking of, ones that I haven't even begun to consider. So go ahead and leave them there. And also if you enjoyed watching, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more. Now with all that out the way, I hope you guys are having a good day. Thanks for watching. MegaLugia here, checking out. Peace!